All right, folks. Thanks for coming. Happy Christmas, and then Happy New Year in advance. Anyway, today we're gonna deal with division of polynomials. Okay, division of polynomials. There are two types of division of polynomials we'll deal with. We're gonna deal with dividing polynomials with monomials. Okay. And then secondly, we're going to deal with dividing polynomials with polynomials. The second type of division is known as a long division. We'll get into all this stuff. We're going to solve a lot of problems today. All right? So thanks for coming. Before we continue, please subscribe to my channel. Like and share this video. If you have any comments or questions, leave it under this video. I will get to them. All right, thanks for coming. So let's let me summarize what we're gonna do first, and then from there I'll show you a bunch of examples. Here's a summary of what we're gonna do in this video. Okay, the video will have part 1 and part 2. Each part will have a lot of accompanying examples. Okay, so in part 1 a lot of examples, in part 2 a lot of examples. Okay, so the video may be huge, it may be large. It's okay, we've done stuff like that in the past. So the first part is we're gonna divide polynomial with monomial. Okay, you know what is monomial? Monomial is a polynomial with only one term. Okay, so you're gonna see something like this, like 3x raised to power 2 plus say 6x plus something maybe 5, and you divide it by something like this, like it doesn't matter, 2x squared or something like that. And notice that these will cancel these out. Okay, actually no, sorry, we're not gonna have this part, because if you have that part, then you're gonna run into problems. So this is the kind of stuff we're gonna look at is something like this. Okay, but you will see it's gonna be something like this. Maybe 2x, maybe dividing, maybe I don't know, maybe 2x squared, something like that. Okay, but we'll see as we get there. Okay, and then the second part is gonna be dividing polynomial with polynomial, but most of the time the numerator will be long polynomial. Okay, and then the denominator may be binomial. I think most of the examples I have are binomial. Like you could have something like this: 6x raised to the power 4 plus 3. I'm making up stuff. 3x raised to the power 3 plus 2x plus 5 divided by something like this. 2. Well, no, I think I didn't see that in my example. Something like x plus 2. So notice that this is, this is called a binomial, okay? And this is a polynomial. So we're gonna deal with something like this. So now, there's something else I want to mention. Yeah, this is called long division. Yeah, it's called long division. Don't be scared, man. It's nothing to be scared of. We've done it before. When I did arithmetic, remember we did long division. So we're gonna follow the same pattern we did there. But this one has a unique aspect of it. But there's nothing to be scared of. I will show you the easy way to do it, just like we did in arithmetic. Okay, when we did long division, I will show you the best way to do it. Basically, this is just you do something, and then you repeat it over and over again. That's it. So if you understand the first step, the rest of the stuff are the same. You see, so don't be scared with this, man. It's very easy. You just have to follow the rules and follow the instruction. This one is also very easy. Dividing polynomial with monomial. It's not hard. You'll see. So, but anyway, the video will be 2 parts. So I will start with this one here, and then I will end with this one. Okay. All right. So let's kick it out. Okay. This is part 1. Part 1 is dividing polynomial with monomial. Okay. Now, notice something. Notice that let's say you have something like let's say you have something like this. I want to show you something. Supposing you have something like ax squared plus bx, something like this, and then you divide it by one term. You divide it by one term, like you could divide it by d. Let's make it small d. Let's say we divide it by d, or we could like say have ax raised to the power 2 plus bx, and we divide it with dx. You see that, right? That's what we're gonna be dealing with in part 1. Something like this. And don't forget, we've done this many times in the past. They call this monomial because it's one time. Right here, one time. You see? This is only one time. You see that, right? One time. So watch out for that. One time. So this is nothing to be... We've done it many times. These are different aspects of what you need to know. That way, you're rounded. When you see the problem in the future, you can handle it. It's nothing to be scared of. Okay, so this part you already know how to do, but we're just going to explain and run a bunch of examples. Notice that this one, you can just say, we did it many times. We're solving problem. A times x squared divided by d, and then you say b times x divided by d. Remember, that's how you do it. Remember, sometime if we have, well, you remember, this has the same denominator, so you can go this way too. So you can go from right to left. So you have something like this, you combine it in something like this. We've done that 200 times, man. More than 200 times. So it can be something like this too. And then you go like this, ax squared over dx plus bx over dx. You see that? And naturally this will cancel that, and this one will cancel one of those. You get x. Like I said, we've done this. Remember, same denominator, which means you can go the other way. You can start with this and then end with that. So we've done this many parts. So this is the first part of the stuff we're gonna do. Okay. There's a terminology. Let me see. Let me take this opportunity and give you a terminology. That way you understand it. When you dividing ax squared plus bx, dividing it by dx, right? Now, first of all, notice that this is one time. That's why it's called monomial. Okay, it's one time. It's not like dx squared. No, it's just one time. If you have something like this, then it's not one time. But we're gonna be dealing in the part A. We're gonna be dealing with something like this. Now, notice this. There is a terminology that go with all this thing. If you divide this, you get something, right? Let's say the result is. I just make up example. Let's say the result is 3x plus 5. Okay. Let's say that's the result. Now, this one here, they call this dividend. That's what they call it. So you need to pick up on the term dividend, okay? And they call this divisor. That's what they call that. They call that the quotient. Quotient is the result of doing the division, okay? There may be something. There's something called remainder. When we get to long division, we'll talk about that. You seen that when I did arithmetic, but it's not. I don't see remainder here, but we'll talk about it later. So these are the parts of these are the terminologies you need to pick up on. because we're gonna use it. I don't know why they call this divisor. I mean, why not call it divider? I guess they don't want to cause problem. Why not divider? It's the one that doing the dividing. They call this one dividend. Sometimes I don't understand how they get it. See, dividend, that's what you get from if you have stocks. You get dividends, right? So I don't know where mathematicians get all this. This one makes sense. I understand this one. That's the result of doing division. But they call this divisor. I would usually like to say divider, and this one dividend. Well, that's what they call it. I'm just telling you what they call it. So let's work a bunch of example on part 1, okay? Okay, here is our first example there. Basically, they want you to divide the numerator with the denominator right there. This is a division situation, okay? The divisor is one term, which is monomial, okay? The numerator contains the dividend. Now we're looking for the quotient, okay? All right. So we'll go. How do you do that? I mean, I don't care how you proceed. There are many ways, you do it the way you're comfortable as long as you get the result. But like I showed you at the beginning, this is the best way to do it. Do it 12x raised to power 4 divided by, because you have the same numerator, divide by x squared minus 6x raised to power 3 divided by 6x raised to power 2. You see, that's your first step there. You just split this in there, and then once you do that, you notice that things will start canceling out. I'm gonna do it in two. Well, let me show you initially. That way now you understand why we had to do exponent, right? You know that 6 will cancel that to get 2. 6 will cancel 6 to get 1, right? We see that, right? Now, what of the exponents? Because the same variable. What of the exponent? These will cancel that to get x raised to power 2. These will cancel that to get x. So basically what you have there will be 2x squared minus, minus x, yeah. That's what you will have left. But let me do the second way. That way you can see the power of using exponent. I mean, we did this before. Check that out. Suppose we forget about that or canceling things out. Well, cancel the numbers. Right, and then notice that the exponents can be written. The first part there can be written as x 4 raised to power 4 minus 2 minus. You remember? We go to this part because 6 cancels 6. We're dealing with exponents. X raised to power 3 minus 2. You remember that? That's the same thing that's what we just did over here, but I just want to show you. If you do that, this is like that, okay? Don't get confused. If you do that, what do you get? You get x raised to power 2 minus x raised to power 1. We usually don't say that, but I didn't put the numbers though. Hang on a minute. I gotta put the numbers that go with it. Here, there's 2 here, there's 2 here, okay? You see, we got the same result. It doesn't matter how you do it. You do it anyway. Any way you can see clearly, you do it. But what we did here is what we did here. It's the same thing. All right. So let's go to the next one. This is the next one right there. So you can write that. I'm gonna go clearly. That way you can see what I'm doing. 35x raised to power 5 over 5x. Minus 5x squared raised to power 5x. You see that, right? Now I can write this. Check this out. It's up to you any way you want to do it, man. I can actually write this as 35 over 5x 5 raised to power 1. Right? See right there. I can write it like that. Okay, I can say 5 over 5 x raised to power 2 minus 1. Because you have 1 here and you have 1 here. But we usually don't write it. So when you have from what we learn from exponent, dealing with exponent, when you have x raised to power m over x raised to power n, you remember? You say x m subtract raised to power n. You remember that? You know, don't throw all the stuff we learned away, but that's what I'm doing here. You know, so this is the exponent rule right here. Exponent, the rule of one of the rules of exponent. I think it's called quotient rule or something like that. But anyway, so we'll go like that. That's 5 divided by 5. What do you get? You get 7. And then you simplify this, you get x raised to power 4. You do the same thing. 5 divided by 5, you get 1. We usually don't write it. You write x, you simplify that, you get 1. So we'll leave it like that. It's here, right? Okay. If you have difficulty with that, go back and watch my video in the how to manipulate exponents, okay? You know, because we discussed that in detail, man. We discussed that in detail, okay? I mean, that's how you're supposed to do this. Just practice until you get it down, okay? Now, let's move on to the next one. What is this here? Okay, we'll do the same thing, okay? It's the same idea. You know, you go like that. This is equals to 60x raised to power 4 over 2x minus 20x raised to power 2 over 2x, okay? Plus 10x over 2x. See, you spread that thing out, the denominator, and then you start canceling things. Okay, so let me do it cleanly. 60 divided by 2, you get 30, okay? Now, see, this can, another way this can cancel one of these. You get x raised to power 3. See, the same thing as saying x 4 minus 1. You see that, right? It becomes x raised to power 3, okay? And then this one here is minus. This can cancel that. Oh, I thought I want to do it cleanly without canceling things, but I can't help myself. Okay, that's 10. That's 10 there. And then x, yeah, because it's, you know, the x in the bottom will cancel one x on top, okay? And then we'll keep going. 10 divided by 2, you get 5. And then x cancels x, so there's nothing there. That's it. You see that, right? Nothing is left up there. So we got that. So that's what is going on there, okay? Do you see it? If you have a problem, just practice. Okay, so let's go to the next one. Don't let the big, because the thing is big, don't let it intimidate you. You just break it down. You break it down and go. Okay. That's the same thing as, let's do it this way, the same thing as this. 120x raised to power 6 over 2x. You see that, right? That's our standard normal procedure. 60x to power 3 over 2x plus 80x squared over 2x. Okay? You see that, right? Now you start crossing things out. 120 divide with 2. What do you get there? You get 60, okay? And then you remove 1x from the one on top. You get x. You see that, right? X raised to power 5. Negative. Let me not cross anything. Let me see if I can restrain myself. Okay, 60 divided by 2. What do you get? You get 30. And then you take out, see the x in the denominator, you take it out from the x in the numerator. What do you get? You get x raised to power 2. You see that, right? See, I can be clean without, you know, crossing things all over the place. 80 divided by 2. What do you get? You get 40. Okay, see the x in the denominator, you remove it from the x on top. What do you get? You get x. You see that, right? You see, I'm writing this by talking, so, but, that's normally how I do stuff. I cross things out. I use the tricks of exponents and deal with stuff. You see what we did there, right? We finished that one. I think we did it right. I don't see any mistakes. But anyway, let's get more examples, and then we'll go from there. Okay, here is the next example. You proceed the way we've been proceeding, okay? And nothing to be scared. You just knock it out and go. Okay, you see that there? So you said that's equals to 20x raised to the power 5 over 5x raised to the power 2. So you continue like that. You continue like that. You see it, right? All right, you see it? Okay. So you simplify. Look at that. 20 can be divided by 5. You get what? You get 4. Okay, now look at the exponents, man. The exponents on top, the variable on top has 5, and the exponent, the x on the bottom has 2. So you subtract 2 from 5, you get x raised to the power 3. Okay. All right. The same thing over here. 5 divide 10, you get 2. Look at the variables. The x on top got 4. The x on the bottom got 2 exponents. All right. So you subtract, you get x raised to the power 2. The same thing over here. 5 divide 5, you get 1. And then look at that. The x cancel out. So you left with 1. You see it there? Right? You see it. If you cannot see this one, let me change it. This is 3. I don't know what I was doing there. I don't want to come. That's 3 right there. Because this 5, subtract this 2, you get 3, okay? Okay, let's go to the next one. We're done with that one. We'll deal with this one. What is this? We'll proceed the same way. 12x raised to the power 5 divided by 6x raised to the power 2 negative 6x 3 over 6x2 plus 6x2 over, what is that, 6x2. You see that, right? You break it down like that. You break it apart like that, however you say it, like that. Okay, notice that things cancel out. 12 divided by 6, you get 2. And then see the exponents? 2 subtract from 5, you get 3. You see it, right? So I'm going to start reading it out for you. 6 divide 6, you get 1. You see the exponent? 3 subtracted 2, you get 1. So it's x. You see it, right? And then 6 divide 6 is 1. We don't read it right, 1. 2 subtract 2, you get, you see that? You get 0. So that thing is still 1. I hope you remember that. See, that's why we have to do exponent first, man. I hope you remember that rule. That thing I explained to you. It's not even a rule. It's based on the definition of exponents, okay? You see what happened there? You got 6 cancel 6, right? You got this right there. Let me put this in brackets here. That way I don't confuse you. You got this there. Remember we talked about that when we did exponent. See the same thing as x times x. And on the bottom, x times x. What happened? That cancel, that cancel, that cancel. What do you get? You get 1 over 1, which is the same thing as 1, right? But notice that if you use the rule of exponent, look at this. I hope you're learning from this, man. You have x, okay? You have x raised to the power 2, then 2 minus 2. What is that? That is, I want you to see that clearly. You see that now? That's x raised to the power 0, and that's 1. Anything raised to the power 0 is 1. That's what I wanted you to make sure you remember. So that's what we did there. We're done with that one. You see that, right? So let's keep going. All right. And then we'll break it apart. Break it apart. 8x raised to the power 5 over 2x minus 4x raised to the power 3 over 2x plus 4x raised to the power 2 over 2x. You see that, right? So you simplify. 8 divided 2. 8 divided by 2, you get 4. Now, you see, x in the numerator has 5 exponents. The one on the bottom has 1 exponent. So you subtract all that, you get x raised to the power 4. All right, 4 divided by 2, you get 2. X in the numerator has 3 as the exponent. X at the bottom has 1 as the exponent. So 3 minus 1 is x raised to the power 2. You see it, right? We keep going. 4 divided by 2, you get 2. Look at that. X on top got exponent 2. X on the bottom got exponent 1. Subtract 1 from 2, you get 1. We usually don't put the 1 there. We leave it out. It's understood to be there. You see that we're done, right? So make sure this helps you. You work all these examples. It helps you to remember what we learned before. That's why I told you sometimes mathematics, what you learn today, you will use it tomorrow in other problem. By the time you know it, you are expert in solving problems, you see. So it comes with practice, man. You're not born with it. When you were born, you start learning 1, 2, 3, 4, you start counting, you see. So when I went to school, we used what I call slate and chalk. We didn't have papers that time, But anyway, that's history. That's gone now. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We're done with that. We did a good job there. Pat yourself on the back. Okay, look at the next one. This is our next example here. It's the same, similar to what we've been doing. You break it apart. 8x raised to the power 4 over 2x minus 4x raised to the power 3 over 2x plus 6x raised to the power 2 over 2x. So you simplify. What is that? What do you get there? You get 8 divided by 2, you get 4, okay? X on the bottom subtracted from x on the top, you get x raised to the power 3 minus 4 divided by 2, you get 2. Look at the x on top got 3, the x on the bottom got 1, what is left is 2. Okay, that's 3. And then what is left is x raised to the power 1. We usually don't write it. So we're done there. You see it, right? Make sure you see what we did there. You see, so that's how we deal, man. You just knock it out and go. All right. Now notice something. You remember I told you that when you, in the other video, the previous video we did, I told you when you divide a polynomial with a polynomial, you may get a polynomial, you may not get a polynomial. That's all that means, okay? So, depending on the nature of the polynomial and the denominator, all right? Also, the nature of the polynomial in the numerator. This time we have a polynomial on top, numerator, and then we'll have monomial on the bottom. But you gotta watch out for something. Let me show you. Look at the next example. The next example will show you what I'm talking about. You will see it from the next example. Look at that. When you see that, you gotta keep your eyes on the ball. You know what that means? That tells me that B is a real number. B is a constant, not a variable. I will show you why. Let's solve that. So you solve that, what do you get? You get equals to 4b raised to the power 5 over 4b, okay? And then, and then minus, I had to catch it there to correct myself. Then let me see, what is that? 4 minus 4b squared over 4b, okay? We're doing the same thing we've been doing. 8 over 4b. You see there, right? Because of this, it tells you b has to be a real number, man. B cannot be a variable, right? You know, v has to be a real number, because if b is not a real number, if b is a variable, let's say you're dividing x with 4x, then that's not a polynomial anymore, man. Because the polynomial, you can't, because this will be equals to 8. You divide by 4, you get 2, and then it will be equal to x, man, a negative exponent. Binomial, you can't have negative exponents. So that's why I know that b is not a variable. B is a constant. Okay, b could be 1, it could be 2, it could be 3, it could be 4. You know, so they did it like that. It's not. Don't get confused. You know, it's a real number right there. It's a real number, man. So it could be anything. I know that variable changes like that too, but b is not a variable. So you proceed. So you do like we normally do. It will be b raised to the power 4 negative b, 4 cancel out b, negative b, because b squared will subtract from b. You get it like that, plus 2, I think it's 2b like that, 2b like that. So we'll leave it like that. So that's what they want there. You understand? You know, if that thing is, if b is a variable, then something wrong. It cannot be a polynomial. All right. Okay. So we'll go to the next. The same thing here. Here b has to be a real number. Okay. B is a real number. So, but we'll proceed. 5b raised to the power 8 over 5b plus 5b raised to the power 7 over 5b. See that? Plus 15 raised to the power 5b. You see that, right? All right. Okay. You know, so we'll simplify. What is that? Don't forget that you know that all the rules we've been following. Okay, 5 cancel 5, you get b at the bottom from b at the top, you get 7. Okay, plus 5 cancel 5, you get you get b. Look at the b at the bottom and the b on top, you get 6 there. Okay, plus 15. 5 go into 15 how many times? You get 3 times over b. You can write it like that. Okay. All right. So this is whatever b is. This will end up being a number once you put the whatever b is. You understand? You know. So we're done with that one. Let's go to the next. Okay. Here is the next example. All right, we'll proceed the way we've been doing it. 12x raised to the power 5 divided by 3x raised to the power 2 negative 9x raised to the power 4 divided by 3x raised to the power 2 plus 6x raised to the power 3 over 3x to the power 2. Okay, we'll simplify. 3 will go into 12 4 times, okay? And then you see x 3, okay? And then 3 divided 9, you get 3. And then x, the exponent 4, subtract the exponents 2, you get 2. Okay, you get 2. 6 divided 3, you get 2. X, exponent 3 subtract exponent 2. You see, that's what you got there. I think we're done, man. You know, that's it. There's nothing else to do. You know, so we got that one done. So we'll move on to the next one. Look at this one here. What does it say? The same thing. Notice how they wrote that problem there. Well, this is okay. It's from big what they call the linear exponent is written properly. You're gonna see one that is not written properly. I will show you in a minute. So we'll proceed. 24x raised to the power 6 over 3x raised to 12, like that, and then 30, like that. Okay, so you simplify. So that's 8 there, right? It's 8 x raised to the power 4 negative 4 x raised to the power 3, and then plus 10 x raised to the power 2. You see it there, right? Yeah, I think we did it right. Check it out. Make sure you see we did it right. If you don't understand anything I did there, pay attention to what I'm doing, and then maybe if you have questions, you can leave it. I will answer you. Now look at this one. You notice how they wrote this one? They wrote the leading term backwards. They started from the leading term at the back. But see, if you want, you can rewrite it. When we go to do long division, that's important. You have to write it this way. This here is not important, but over there it's important. Over there I have to rewrite it this way, but I'm gonna show you. I'll show you then. I'll cancel it. You gotta write it this way: 27 negative 27x, because this is the leading term. You have to write it this way, and then the next one is 15x. So you gotta write it in standard form with the leading term, then the decreasing number of exponents. It has to be that, or you make a mistake when you do long division. You see right there like that. You have to write it like that. But in this problem, you don't have to. So I can cancel that. We really don't have to in this problem. Let me clear it out. We don't have to do all that here. Here anything goes, man. So we'll write it 3x over 3x squared, like that, plus 15x, like that, minus 27x, like that, and then we'll start simplifying things. This is x. Actually, this is 1. That one is 1 because everything cancels out. So this is 1. I hope you see it. Okay, plus what is that? 5, and then x negative. This is actually 9. Then x, right? Yeah, that's 9, and then x. What is that? Raised to the power 2. You see it, right? If you don't understand what I did there, again, when you write it, they can tell you to write it in standard form. Then you have to write it like this: negative 9x. It's required in standard form, plus 5x. Plus 1. But if it's not required in standard form, you just leave it like it is. Okay, so we did it right. Let's go to the next one. What is that? Okay, this is the same thing. Yeah, I see they switched it around. The leading term is at the back, but like I said, it doesn't matter here. When we get to long division, it matters. You have to rewrite it. Okay, so 3x, like that. Okay. You see what I'm doing, right? I'm just rewriting this stuff. It's simplified. Notice everything cancel out, so it's gonna be 1 here. Negative. This is 6. Yeah, that's 6, and then x raised to the power 2 plus 10 x raised to the power 3. You see it, right? Do you see it? Do you see it? You see what we did there? We did a little magic. That's no magic. I'm just kidding. You know, again, if you want, you can rewrite it. If they want you to rewrite it, then you rewrite it. But other than that, it's okay the way it is, okay? Okay, here is the next example. It says, notice that it's also switched backwards, that the leading term is at the end, but it doesn't matter in this area of in this part 1, okay? So we do what we normally do. We say 36x over 3x raised to power 2, and then let me see, and then we'll go plus 24x raised to power 3x raised to power 2, all right, plus 6x 3x. Okay, so we'll simplify that. What do we get? You simplify that. Just give me a minute. Okay, it's 1 2 no, what is that, over x raised to x over, over x. I will say something about that in a minute. And then this is 8x. Actually it's 1, so it's 8 right there. You see that, right? Because x raised to power 2 will cancel with x raised to power 2. And then this one here is 2x. That's it. Now notice something. Notice that the result may see, we started with this is monomial, this is polynomial. This cannot be polynomial because that thing can be written as 12x raised to power 1. So yeah, by definition it's not a polynomial, man. So that's all you need to know. Don't worry about it. You still get your result. You get it right. But note that that cannot be a polynomial by definition of what polynomial means. Polynomial cannot have a negative exponent. That was part of the requirement in the definition. So that's the result we got, but it's not a polynomial, okay? Alright, so let's keep going. What is the next one? I wanted to make sure you understand that. That's why I included that problem. Let's keep going. This is 9x over 3x raised to power 2 minus 12x, like that, 3x over 2 plus 9x raised to power 3 over 3x raised to power 2. You simplify, this will be 3. Notice that you're going to have a negative exponent too. So it's going to be x raised to power negative 1, not negative 2, negative 1, okay, minus 4x, that's going to be 0, which is 1, okay, plus, notice that that's going to be 3x, so that's we're done there. And we're done there. See right there, right? So we did it right. So again, that's not a polynomial. That's not a polynomial because of that negative exponent, okay? But that's the result we got, okay? So you need to understand, you could be working with dividing a polynomial, then you end up, what you ends up with is not a polynomial, but that doesn't mean it cannot happen. It can happen, you see. So I said that in the other video, the first video we did on polynomial. Okay, I think there's one more example that will end up like that. Let me move this up because it's a little bit involved. Okay, you see what it's giving us there? So we'll proceed the way we've been doing it, right? We'll go like that. 20x raised to the power 4 over 5 x raised to the power 2 minus 25x raised to the power 3 over 5x raised to the power 2 plus 5x over 5x raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll start knocking things out. 20 divided by 5, you get 4. And then you have x raised to the power what? Raised to the power 2. Okay, it's negative. Okay, 5 divide 25, you get 5. X, raised to the power 1. You see it right there, right? Plus. You see that? Let me see. 5 knock out 5, and then you have x raised to the power 1. I think we're done. Is there anything to be done there? I don't think so, man. You see that we're done? I mean, if you want, you can write this. You can write this as 4x. It's up to the professor, whatever they want you to do. Write it as 4x, and then 1 plus 1 over x. It's the same thing. It's the same result as that, the one on the left. So we're done with that, man. Okay, this is our next example. It's a little bit long, but so what? It looks like they combine 2 problems into one, but so what? We can handle it. It's just long, that's all. You just break it apart like we normally do. It's equals to negative 27x raised to the power 4 over negative 3x. Okay? Plus. Well, be careful now. You're dividing with negative. So I think, you need to take care of that. So everything is going to be negative. If something is positive on top, it's going to be negative. So it's negative 36x raised to the power 3 over 3x. You see that, right? Negative, so it's okay. 6x raised to the power 2 over negative. I mean, let's deal with that when we get there. Let's deal with it. 3x. All right, we'll deal with it. I'll show you. Let's do it in the right way, and then I'll explain it to you. Okay. The next one is negative 26x divided by negative 3x, and the next one is. If you want, you can change the negative, change the positive to negative. Just take care of it now. If you want, it's up to you. 2 over 3x. So we took care of that here, and we took care of that here. But the rest we'll put it in. Okay. So notice that negative divided by negative is positive. So when we simplify the first one, we get what is that? 27 divided by 3. Okay, it's 9. So it's gonna be 9. Let me see, 9x raised to the power 3. You see that? Because it's 4 minus 1. You see it, right? Okay. So that was 36, positive 36x to the cube divided by 9. So okay, we took care of that already. So it becomes 3. 3 divided 36, what do you get? You get 1, and then 3 is 2, and then it's x raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Okay, now again, negative divide negative will be positive, okay? So you get 2x, that's it. Again, the same thing, negative divide negative, you get positive. Okay, so 26 over 3. Okay, so we'll leave it like that. That will be positive 26 divided by 3, and then x will disappear. Negative 2 over 3, right? Let me see. I'm sorry, hang on. Negative 2 over 3. Negative 2 over 3. And then you can put x like that. Let me see if there's something. There's nothing to combine here. You saw different things. So basically we don't, but let's write it the way somebody can recognize it, okay? We want to write it a little bit cleaner. Okay? Actually, looking at it, there's really nothing we can do. We got it right, so we'll leave it like that. Well, I mean, how else can we write it? We can try to rewrite it, but it doesn't make any difference. So we'll leave it like that. So we head to the next one. That's the next one right there. It looks like it's almost the same thing because these things tend to be long. Okay, so it's okay. So we'll work on it. This is equals to negative 8b raised to the power 4 over negative 2b. Okay, then it becomes negative 12b raised to the power 3 over 2b, because I just squeeze in the negative, that way we don't get confused. And then another squeeze in another negative 2b raised to the power 2 over 2b, okay? Again, it's negative 7b, over, what is that, negative 2b? Let me clean that up. We don't want to make it look like something it's not. Leave it like that. Okay, plus, actually, we change it to negative because it's going to be negative 3 over 2b. Okay, we'll simplify that. What do we get? We get everything will become positive on the first one. It will be 4 and then b raised to the power 3. You see it, right? This one will be 6 b raised to the power 2. Okay, this one will be this one basically will be b, and this one will be positive. You see, negative divided by negative, it will be 7 over 2, and then b will disappear. You see that, right? And then negative 3 over 2, b at the bottom. You can say b negative 1 like that. Okay, notice that, no, we did everything. I don't think there's anything else we can combine. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else. Let me see. Where did my... Hang on a minute. I made a mistake. Yeah, no, it's okay. I'm seeing double. Because here 2 cancel 2, right? And then b will cancel 1b on top, then you get b. So I thought I was seeing something. I made a mistake there. So I think we did everything right. There's really nothing else we can do. We did everything right there. Nothing else to change, So we'll move on. We're gonna keep moving on. We'll move on to the next one. What is there? That's the next one. I don't know why I wrote it like that at the middle, but we'll deal with it. So what is that? That's another long one, but if you really try to simplify it, it's not that long. You see, look at it. It has larger numbers on top, on the exponent on top, but look at the exponent on the bottom. And then it has large numbers, it has large digits in the numerator, but look at the heavy 10 digits. Look at the 10 at the bottom, you see? So we'll knock it out. 120x raised to the power 11, 10x raised to the power 12, negative, 60x raised to the power 10 over 10x raised to the power 12 plus 140 x raised to the power 9 over 10x raised to the power 12 minus 100 x raised to the power 8 over 10x raised to the power 12. You see that? Okay. Now we'll simplify. Okay, notice this. 10 will cancel stuff out. You just start canceling stuff out with 10. Okay, then and the first time you get what? It's gonna be a negative exponent. Notice that. It's gonna be 12x negative 1. You see that, right? minus that's gonna be 6, the same thing here, x negative 2 plus 14 x negative what is that 3, okay, minus 10 x negative 4. You see that, right? You see that? We're done with it. If you want, you can write it like this. Write it like 12 over x minus 6 over x squared plus 14 over x raised to the power 3 negative 10 x raised to the power 4. Yeah, if you want, you can write it like that. It doesn't hurt anything to write it like that. That's what you want. So, but it's the same thing. You see, so we know we did it right. It's nothing else we can combine, nothing else to cancel. So, we just leave it like that. We'll move on to the next. All right. I think we're winding down with part 1 of the video, okay? We got 3 more problems here, then we'll go to part 2. All right, now check this out. This is the division we're doing there. It's a lot of stuff, but so what? We can handle it. All right, so let's move on. It's 45 x raised to the power 7 over 3 x raised to the power 8 plus 9x plus 6 3x power 8 negative 6x per 5 over 3x for 8 plus 12x raised to the power 4 3x raised to the power 8. You see that, right? We just simplify. That's all we gotta do. You see that, right? It's nothing to be scared of, man. We just simplify the stuff and go. Okay, that's 15x negative 1. You see that, right? Plus, all right, 3x negative 1. What is that? No, not negative 1. It gotta be negative 2. Okay, and then negative 2x negative 3. You see that, right? Plus 4x negative 4. You see what is going on? If you want, you can write it you can write it like this if that makes you happy. You write it as 15 over x plus 3 over x raised to the power 2 minus 2 over x raised to the power 3 plus 4 over x raised to the power 4. You see, you can write it like that or leave it like that. It's the same result, depending on what your professor wants you to do. So those they are the same thing. And notice that the result is not a polynomial like I discussed earlier. A polynomial cannot have a negative exponent, okay? So we'll move on to the next one, man. We're done with that one. Look at this. This is another long one. This one, it has 2 variables. Even though we say we're working with 1 variable, but it's okay. They gave us this. Let's let's just knock it out and get on with the other stuff we'll have to do. So we'll do the same thing we've been doing. We'll just handle it the way we've been handling stuff, okay? It's no change. You do the same thing. The same thing we've been doing all along, okay? So we'll move on like that. We'll say 120 x raised to the power 5 y raised to the power 4 over 20x y. See, you got 2 variables on top, 2 variables on bottom. So naturally things will cancel out. 80x raised to the power 2 3 over 20x y right there plus 40 x to the power 2 y raised to the power 4 over 20x y 2 negative 20x 5 y to 3 over 20x y there. Okay, so things will cancel out. Ultimately, things will cancel out. Notice that cancels out. You get 6. Notice the x, the relationship between x on top and x on the bottom. You get x 4, and you get y 2. Okay, you see that, right? We'll keep doing it like that. 20, right? See, you get 4x. All right, yeah, just x, because x raised to the power 2 minus raised to the power 1, you get x. Okay, the same thing with the y, so you get y like that, plus, now see that's 2x, yes, x raised to the power 1, that's it, and then y raised to the power 2, you see it, right? And then 20, oh, no, not, sorry, you can't have 20 there. I forgot the 2 here on the bottom. This cancels that. So you got x raised to the power 4, y raised to the power 1. That's it. We're done, man. Basically, we're done. I don't think there's anything else for us to do with that. Nothing else can combine. Basically, we're done. We are done with that one, and I think we did it right, because I took my time to narrow things down. See, so we did it right. Let's move on to the last one, and then we'll take a break, and we'll come back and knock out long division. Okay, here is our last problem. Let's knock it out quick. Notice that it has two constants acting like variables. So, but we'll proceed the same way we've been doing it. It looks complicated, but there's nothing to worry about, because we'll knock it out quick. Okay, so 200 a raised to the power 5, 6. I'm sorry, b raised to the power 6. Okay, b raised to the power 6 over 40 a raised to the power 2b, negative 160 a raised to the power 4b 7 all over 40 a 2b. Okay, negative, you see that, right? 120 a 3b 9 over 40 2b plus 4 a 2b 2 over 40 a 2b. You see it, right? Okay, now we just simplify. See that? We just have to simplify. Let me see. You see, look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Okay, so we'll deal with whatever is left. 20 divided by 4 is 5. Okay, a raised to the power 5 on top, a raised to the power 2 in the bottom will give you a raised to the power 3. And look at b. B will give you 5 right there. Okay, you go negative 16 divided by 4, you get 4. And then you get, what is that? A raised to the power 2, b raised to the power, what is that? B and 6. Okay, you get negative 4 divided by 12, you get 3. Let's see, a raised to power, it's just power 1, b raised to power 8. You see, right? And then plus 4 divided 4, you get 1. And then a squared cancel a squared, and there's nothing there. And then you have b left, because b on top we got 2 exponents, and then the one on bottom got 1 exponent. So I think, let me see, is there anything to combine? I don't see anything to combine. Basically, I think we're done. You see, we're done, right? I don't know. I don't think there's a mistake we made anywhere. I think we did a good job there. So we're done with this part 1. So we said this is the end of part 1. Now we'll move on to part 2, okay? All right. We're gonna continue with part 2. Basically, part 2 is dividing polynomial with polynomial, and it's also known as long division, okay? What I would do, I will give you 3 examples, and then from there, after that, we'll go and do a bunch of problems, okay? Basically, remember we did long division before in arithmetic. You see, the same idea, man. The same idea, the same way. The only thing is it's a little different. The variables are involved here, but there shouldn't be a problem. But it's because we already studied how to divide, with a monomial. You'll see in a minute. It's about dividing with, monomial, and then multiplying it with whatever the result we got. We'll multiply out the way we usually do long division, and then we'll subtract, and then we'll repeat the process. Okay, we'll bring the next term down, and then we'll repeat the process. This is long division for you. See, the same way we do the regular long division using number. Using a bunch of numbers also, okay? So let me give you a couple of examples. Before I do, let me see. I think there is something I want to mention. Don't forget that, do you remember what is called leading term and leading variable, right? Actually, now we're gonna use the most important term we need to understand is leading term. Okay, if you have don't forget, if you have a polynomial like this, x minus 2, all right, this is an example. This is a linear polynomial. What is the leading term? The leading term there, you remember we talked about it, the leading term is x. Okay, that's the leading term. Suppose you have a polynomial like this, 4 times x raised to power 2 plus x minus 18. Okay, what is the leading term there? Well, the leading term there is 4x raised to power 2. Notice that the leading term is attached to the highest exponent, the largest exponent of x. If the largest exponent is x raised to power, if it's x, right, the largest exponent in the polynomial is if it's x raised to power n, and then there is a multiplied by it, then that's, if let's say it's written like this, 4 plus let's say x over raised to power 2, the leading exponent is that. I'm sorry, the leading term follows the leading exponent, because the leading exponent is this. Okay, so the leading term is, and you see, if something is multiplied with the, let's say 6 is multiplied with the leading term, then that's the whole thing is the leading term. Let's say the leading term is by itself, then that is the leading term. You understand what I'm saying, right? So make sure you understand that, because we're gonna use that concept when we do, this long division. Okay, so let me give you a couple of examples, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I'll give you examples, then after that we'll jump into problem. These examples are, I just want to show you how the steps I will use to deal with this long division. Okay, let's say you're given a problem like this: 4x squared. This is a polynomial minus 18. Okay, and they want you to divide that polynomial with x minus 2. Okay, so we'll have to use long division. Okay, I'm going to show you the step. These are the steps I will follow. So what we're going to do, I call it step 0. Just pay attention to what I'm doing. Step 0, I'm going to organize it. Remember how we did long division? I organize it. I see if there is any term missing, especially with this is the dividend, right? Dividend, and this is the divisor. Okay, it's important to know if there is something missing in the divisor. I will explain that, because I'm going to show you another example. In this case, everything is okay with the divisor. Alright, so you see if there's a term missing, I'm going to give you an example where a term is missing. Okay, that way you understand what I'm saying. But you eyeball it, everything is okay, then you put it in the form. You remember the form. The form will normally put the long division is you put the dividend like this: 4x squared, right, plus x minus 18. You put it in this thing like that. Okay, and then you put the divisor here, right here, minus 2, like that. You remember that? That's how we did long division. And then whatever answer we have will go up here, and then when we're done, we'll copy the answer from up there. Okay, so let's keep going. Now pay attention. This is step 0. We're done with step 0. Okay, so you set that up like that. That's step 0. Now you're gonna go to step 1. This is how I want to do my stuff. Somebody else can do it any way they want. This is step 1. Okay, step 1. Ask yourself, what is the leading term of the divisor? That's that there. What is the leading term of the dividend? That's that there. So the idea is, the step 2 is you take the leading term of the dividend, you divide it by the leading term of the divisor. So let me write it down, that way you understand. Take leading term of dividend. Okay, dividend, and you divide it with the leading term of the divisor. Let me write that down. The leading term of the divisor. Okay, divisor. Alright, that's what you do. Okay, so this is important. This step is important. Okay, so we do it. Let's do it. The leading term of the dividend is 4x raised to power 2, right? And then the leading term of the divisor is what? Is x. So we'll work that out. See, that's why we'll practice doing dividing stuff with monomial. This is the same thing we just did in part 1, right? So you work that out. What do you get? If you work that out, you get let me see, you get 4x, because you see, remember I told you that see, that's why we had to do all this, because whatever you learn in part 1, we're gonna apply it here. Recall what I said is if you have x2, and you have x down there. The way you write it, remember, x2 minus 1, because that thing, there's 1 here. It becomes x. It becomes x, right? So that's why I have that for x. Okay, if you were following me with the first part, if you pay attention to the first part, this one should be okay to you. You will understand what I'm doing. Okay, so make sure you pay attention to the first part. So this is the first step. This is step 1. So once you get that, do you remember how we did we did long division? That's the same thing here. Once you get that, you use that for x to multiply the dividend. You use that to multiply the dividend, which is just give me a minute. Alright, sorry about that. So you use whatever you got up here, the result here, to multiply the dividend, which is x minus 2. You remember? That's how we did long division. You multiply that, what do you get? You get 4x squared minus 8x. You see that, right? Okay. So I kind of took a lot of space. So let me bring this down here. Then I shouldn't disturb it again. Remember, this thing will form me here. I was using this to explain to. Let me bring it down here. X minus 2, like that. So we don't want to disturb that again. 4x, like that. X minus 18, okay? Alright. So we need to, when we get the result, we enter it there. Okay, so we're still on step 1. So you do that. When you get that, you put it here. You put it here, 4x squared minus 8x. And then you subtract it, like we did in the regular long division. I like to put my subtraction sign here. Remember, I told you, go watch my video, arithmetic video on long division. I like to put my subtraction sign like that. Okay? And then, of course, you know, 4x right here becomes negative 4x, okay? Because there's a negative here. And then 8x becomes positive 8x, okay? So then we do the subtraction. What do we get? We don't worry about writing 0. This one will become 0. Over here will become 0. This one will become 9x. You see that, right? Because we're adding positive 8x plus positive x. You see that, right? And then we bring this down. That's what we were doing in when we did long division. We bring this is remaining from here. Then we bring this down. That way we can continue. It becomes whatever sign it has up there, you bring it down. Negative 18. You see that, right? So you bring that down like that. You know, so, and then we repeat the process. So once you bring that down, bring that thing down, bring next time, you can say next time, bring next time down. Okay, that completes step 1. That's how I want to do it. Somebody can do it differently. This completes step 1. Then we'll go to step 2. You know, notice that this will repeat. From here to here, we're repeating all those things we did there. We're going to repeat it again. Okay, so I'm trying to explain it to you. I'm going to solve, I think I have 3 problems to solve to show you the steps I'm using. After that, then I will go solve a bunch of problems, okay? So this is step 2. Step 2, what is that? We repeat the process. So now we're going to concentrate on this thing here. Alright, oh, don't forget what we got. We got, let's see, when we divided, we got that. You got to put it here, 4x, sorry. You got to put it up there. And notice it's 4x, so we'll put it on top of x. If it was something squared, we'll put it on top of squared. So we'll leave it there. That way we'll keep track of what we're doing. And then we repeat the process. We'll say leading term of divisor. Go ahead and use it to divide the leading term of that thing. we're just repeating the process. So we'll say 9x divided by x. You remember, you know where I got all this, right? Okay. I'm repeating what I did up there. It will be 9. You see that, right? So it will be 9, and then what do we do again? We do 9 times the divisor, x negative 2. What is that? It's a 9x negative 18. You see that, right? So we'll put that here. And then we'll put stuff where they belong. So here is positive 9. And then here is 9x negative 18. Okay, you see that, right? We got all that from here. And then we'll subtract again. Like we would normally do in the long division. We'll subtract. Like I said, I like to line my sign up with that thing right there. Okay? We'll subtract again, then it's 0 because there's nothing to subtract. Alright, so that then we're done. So once you're done, you read off your answer from there. You read off your answer from there. The answer, okay, the answer is 4x plus 9. There's no remainder. Remainder is 0, so don't worry about that. There's no remainder. That's the answer right there. You see that, right? Just understand it. This is the steps I want to follow. Step 0, you prepare the stuff. Step 2, then you do take the leading term of the dividend. You divide it with the leading term of the divisor, and then whatever you got, you multiply the divisor with it, and you place it in there, right? And then you bring the next term down, and then you repeat the process again. That's all. You see that, right? So we'll finish with that example. Let's go to the next example I have for you. This is example 2. Example 2. These are examples before we solve problems, okay? I will say example 2. Let me see, what did I call that? Well, it's okay. I say example. This is example 2, okay? Let me copy that over. That way you know what it is. Example 2 is... you are given 2x raised to power 3 plus x raised to power 2 plus 5x, okay, plus 13. Doesn't matter how I write it. They want you to divide that with 2x plus 3. Okay, so they want you to divide this with that. Or you can put it over here underneath it. It doesn't matter. That's the thing with the problem we'll have to deal with now. And this is a long division, okay? Now, what is step 0? Step 0, you prepare the stuff. You prepare the way. Step 0 prepares you to get the stuff done. Alright, you eyeball the thing. There's no missing time here. If there's a missing time, we'll take care of it. Next example will show you what I mean. So we'll go ahead and write this like this. We'll write a 2x raised to power 3 plus x, 2 plus 5x plus 13, right? Okay. And then we'll put our stuff like that. And we'll put that like that. And we'll put 2x plus 3 here. So this is basically step 0. You just will setting up the process, okay? And then we'll go to step 1. Step 1 is when we'll kick out the process. So you see the leading term of the dividend. The leading term is right there. And the leading term of the divisor, right, is like right there. We're gonna work with those things, right? In fact, let me change ink here. We'll say 2x raised to power 3 divided by 2x. You see where I'm getting that from, right? Okay, that will give you what? That will give you, it will give you let's see, x squared, right? That's what you're gonna get from that. And then you take that x squared, you multiply the divisor. You say x squared times the divisor 2x plus 3 See, that's why we did a lot of that thing. We did this the previous video, right? I think the video we did yesterday, we did something like that right there. So you multiply out, what do you get? You get 2x raised to the power 3 plus 3x raised to the power 2. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll write it in here. We'll write it in here like this: 2x raised to the power 3 plus 3x raised to the power 2. And we'll subtract it. We'll put the subtraction sign. We'll put the sign here. Okay, what do we get? We'll get, of course, you know, this will cross out. The first time will cross out. The second time, you know, it will be negative 3x squared. You're adding it to that up there. What will you get? You get, let me see. That will give you negative 2x squared. You see that, right? Make sure you see why that is the case. You see that, right? Okay. Make sure you understand that we'll cover that in the previous videos, okay? And then we're not done with step 1. We'll bring the next time down. That's part of step 1. We'll bring that down. Don't forget, you see the sign there. We'll say positive 5x. Once we bring that down, I can write it and bring next time. Next time down, okay? Bring it down. And then we're done with that. So we'll go to step 2, okay? We'll go to step 2. Okay, because now we'll have to repeat this process again. Alright, so we'll take, I want you to see what I'm doing. We'll take negative 2, this is step 2. We take negative 2x raised to the power 2 divided by 2x. You see that, right? We're just repeating what we did above. It will be negative x. You see it, right? You see why it's so? It's negative x. And then we'll do what we normally do, what we did over here. We'll say negative x multiply the dividend. You see it, right? This is just mechanical. It's robotic. You just have to follow the steps. You come out with the right answer. So what is that? Negative 2x squared, right? Negative 3x. You see that, right? You see that I multiplied that out, right? Okay. So once we do that, we'll put it over here. Negative 2x squared, negative 3x, okay, and then we'll subtract it. We're still on step 2, okay? We'll subtract it. Actually, I should have said something about subtraction. We'll subtract. That way you don't forget that step. Subtract. Okay, and then here we'll subtract. You can add that there. That way you know the things you gotta do. Subtract. What do you do? Remember, that thing becomes positive here. The first time right there becomes positive right here. And then the second time becomes positive because we're subtracting. So it will cancel this out. And then over here it will be, make sure you see what I'm doing. Because minus 3, negative 3x becomes positive because of subtraction. Because of that there. And then we'll have, what is that, 8x. You see that, right? Okay, so we're not done. We're going to bring this down. We'll bring this down here, positive 13. And then now we're done with step 2. You know, so you bring down next time, okay? Okay, now we're done with that. So we'll continue, we'll repeat the process. Sorry about that. I should have put that there. That way you don't make a mistake. Alright. The actions you take should be part of the steps, okay? These are the actions we took. We took that action. We took that action. We took this action. You see that, right? Okay. So we'll bring that down now. We'll repeat the process. You see that, right? We'll repeat the process. Now I'm running out of space. I want you guys to know exactly what I'm doing. Repeating the process, that's step 3. Okay, so we'll say 8x divided by 2x. You remember, where did I get 2x? I got it from here. Okay, 8x divided by 2x. What do you get? You get, let me see, you get 4. Okay, and then you take 4, you multiply that thing, you multiply the whole thing, the whole divisor. It's 2x plus 3, right? Let me make sure. Yeah, okay, you multiply that out, you get, what is that, 8x plus 12. You see that, right? Okay, and then you put it up there. I forgot to put what I keep forgetting to put what I got. This, I got that there. We'll put it under here. Okay, that's x. Then what is that then? We got this one here. We'll put it under here. That's negative x. We got it there. So sorry about that. You gotta put that way. When you're done, you copy it down. So once you get that, sorry about that, you take it, you put it here. You put it here, it will be 8x plus 12. And then you subtract. You remember? We subtract. Okay, subtract. Once we subtract, what do we get? We get 1. Well, don't forget, when this will cancel out because it's subtracting there, right? I don't want to confuse you. I don't like to put it there because it becomes messy. That's why I like to put it here. That way I know it's there. Okay? And then don't forget, 12 will become negative. Negative 12 plus 13 is 1. Positive 1. So we'll get positive 1 here. There's nothing else to bring down, you see? Alright, there's nothing else to bring down. So we're done with that one. So then we'll say nothing else to bring down, okay? Nothing to bring down. If you want, you can put that down. It doesn't matter. It's up to you. Nothing to bring down. We're done with that one. So basically the answer we got is okay? Answer we got is x squared minus x, and the remainder is 1. So you can write it. Remember, you can write it like this. You see that, right? That's the remainder, because it's 1 divided by that and divided by the divisor. Okay, you see that, right? Right, so it's x squared minus x, remember 1 over 2x plus 3, and then we're done with that. So I get you another example. Sorry, just follow this. You should be able to read it. Just follow the video. You should be able to understand what I'm doing. Let's do another example. I don't know why this stuff keeps moving around like that. Let's do another example. I have another example for you. There's a reason why I chose that example. Okay. Well, the first example had no remainder. Okay. Well, you know what? I don't need to repeat that. Let me give you one more example that has something that I want to explain to you, okay? So let's do this example. What is this? Example. This is example 3, okay? Let's do this. It says x raised to the power 4 negative 5x raised to the power 3 plus 6x raised to the power 2 plus x minus 4. Okay, they want you to divide all that with this. Divide it with this. With this divisor here, x raised to the power 2 plus 2. So that's what you're giving her, okay? Now, let's prepare. The preparatory step is step 0. This is the preparatory step. What we need to prepare? Okay, you see there's something missing here. That's why I chose this one. There's something. You see, you have x raised to the power 2. Something missing there. So it's better to write it like this. You will see why. It will help you to keep track of when you are accounting for stuff. It's better to write that like this: x raised to the power 2 plus 0x. I'm sorry, not x raised to the power 2, sorry. Plus 0x, okay, plus 2. It didn't change anything. It just, that thing helps you. Putting that helps you to keep, you'll see in a minute. Because you see, they jumped to x2 and they didn't give you x1, and then they gave you plus 2. So x to the power 1 is missing. Remember, polynomial, it starts from x1, x, the highest power, x2, then it goes to x1, then it goes to constant. That's what that is saying there. Okay, you will see why it's useful to do. You don't have to do it that way, but I prefer doing it that way. And then you set up our stuff. You eyeball, you find that thing, you found that thing, you fix it, and then you set up our stuff. To set it up, this is still step 0. You say x raised to the power 4 minus 5 raised to the power that 6x to the power 2 plus x minus 4. Okay, you do that, right? Do it like that, whatever you call that. That's the division symbol. And then you put this here: x raised to the power 2 plus x0 plus 2. You will see why that x0 is useful. So once you get stuff prepared, you're done with step 0. Then you go to step 1. Okay, you go to step 1. So remember what we're gonna do. Look at the divisor. The leading term there is x raised to the power 4. Look at the the dividend. The leading power there is x raised to the power 4. The divisor, the leading term there is x raised to the power 2. So we'll start our division process. We'll say, we'll take x raised to the power 4, we divide it by x raised to the power 2. What do you get? You get, let me see, x raised to the power 2. See, that's why it's good to know about exponents. If you understand that video I did on exponent, it will help you. You need to spend time studying it. I told you when I started this YouTube that what you learn in math, you can't forget it because you use it later. All this stuff we're learning now, when we go to calculus, we'll use some of it. Well, I don't want to say some. We use most of the algebra we know. So you need to make sure algebra is like your second nature. When you go to calculus, things will move smoothly, okay, for you. Okay, see, we did that, right? And then we do our multiplication. X, we use what we got to multiply this thing here. X raised to the power 2 plus, we still keep our x, 0 times x plus 2. You will see why it's useful. Multiply that out. You just do it the legal way. X raised to the power 4 plus 0 x raised to the power 3. You see that, right? It changes nothing. That thing changes nothing. Okay, plus 2x raised to the power 2. You see it, right? Okay, and then once you get that, you write that over here: x raised to the power 4 plus 0x raised to the power 3 plus 2x raised to the power 2. Okay, then you can say subtract. You transfer that thing over there, you subtract, put the subtraction. I like to put it out here. You draw that, you subtract. What do you get? You know, the first term cancels out. See, because positive x to the power 4 subtract negative, well, subtract x to the power 4, it cancels out, right? And then over here, see, it helps you to keep accounting this thing here. Then you know you have basically you have negative 5x3 here. Okay, you don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it helps you to keep accounting, you see. And then right here you have negative 2x squared subtracted from positive 6x squared. What do you get? You get positive what is that, 4x squared. Okay, so this is what you get, and then you bring this down. Bring the next thing down. Make sure you bring the power down too. The power that goes with, I mean the sign that goes with it is plus x. Once you bring that down, bring it down. The next is you bringing down the next time. Then you're done with that step, okay? And then you move on to step 2, okay? So you brought that down. Step 2, you're gonna repeat this process, man. That's all. You're gonna repeat that process again. So look at it. What are we doing? We're doing negative 5x cubed divided by x squared. What do you get? You get negative 5. Look at that, x. You see that, right? See, that's why it's good to know how to manipulate the exponents. It helps you a lot. You get that. Once you get that, then you multiply. We take that, you multiply the divisor. The divisor is x raised to the power 2 plus 0x plus 2. Okay, you keep going. What is that? That's negative. Let's see, negative 5x raised to the power 2, right? No, raised to the power 3, sorry. Okay, and that's plus 0x raised to the power, what is that, 2, all right, plus, actually it's negative, sorry. You can, you gotta just write what you're supposed to get, negative, and then that's another negative 10x, okay? You see that, right? So once you get that, you take it over there, you move that over here and say negative 5x raised to the power 3. Now you see, I keep writing what I got. We got that. Let's put it in here. And then what else did we get? We haven't gotten anything. We got that. Let's put it up there. We got negative 5x, okay? Alright, sorry about that. Anyway, so we'll copy that over. Negative 0x raised to the power 2, negative 10x. And then we'll subtract. We'll subtract again. Okay? We'll subtract again, man. You see, because we're subtracting, this will become positive right here. This thing here will become positive, so it cancels out with that. It cancels out. And then that thing has no effect. So we'll bring that thing down. We'll bring 4x to the power 2 down. And then here, don't forget it will subtract, Don't forget that. We're subtracting, it becomes a positive 10x, right? And then positive 10x plus x, it becomes 11x. You see that, right? Because that's like 1x up here. That's like 1x up here, okay? So I'll make sure you understand that. So we'll write it like that. There's something to bring down. We'll still have something to bring down. If you don't have anything to bring down, then you're done. But we're not done. We'll bring that down. Okay, so we'll subtract. We're subtracting that, and then we'll bring it down. Bring it down. We'll bring it down. What do we get? We get minus 4. You gotta bring it with the sign, okay? And then we're done with that step. So we'll go to step 3. So we'll repeat the same thing again. You see, I told you, you have to be patient. It's monotonous, man. So you repeat the process, right? So you repeat the process again, So we do the same thing. It's 4x squared divided by, what is that? Divide by right there. We're looking for that. Divide by x, right? Make sure. Yeah. You divide by that, what do you get? You get 4. You see it, right? And then you say 4 times the divisor. I want to make sure I copy the divisor. I'm sorry. See, I was going to write the wrong thing. you gotta copy the divisor correctly, or you make a mistake. What is the divisor right there? X plus 0x, right? Plus, let me see, plus 0x plus 2. You multiply that, you get 4x raised to the power 2 plus 0x, still 0x plus, what is that, plus 8, okay? So you take that, you gotta move it over here. 4x squared plus 0x plus 8. You see that, right? And then you subtract it. You know, I hope you can see what I'm doing. See, I want to line this up like that. I want to line it up like that. Okay, you subtract. If you subtract, what happens? You're subtracting 4x squared from 4x squared, so it becomes 0. And then you bring this down, 11x, you see? Because this is 0. And then you're subtracting, it's like you're adding negative 8 plus negative 4. You see that, right? So you become negative 12. You see it? Make sure you understand what is going on. That's why you gotta spend some time understanding that. That's why I did arithmetic first. Go back to my course in arithmetic. I broke all this stuff down for you. You know. So, but anyway, so you see that? That's what we got. There's nothing else to bring down. So basically we're done right there. Let me put what was the last thing I got? Did I put it up there? No, I didn't put it up there. I got 4. That's plus. Is that plus 4 or negative 4? I got plus 4 right here. So I put it up there. Okay. So we're done. Basically, since we're done, the answer we're looking for, answer is what we wrote up there, x squared minus 5x plus 4. That's the remaining right there. That's the remaining. Plus remaining 11x minus 12 over x raised to the power 2 plus, this is the divisor. See? You see that, right? That's the remaining right there, and that's what we got. And then we're done with that. Alright, so those are examples I wanted to show you, the steps. You know, if you understand them, we're gonna solve a bunch of problems now, you know, using the same steps. So there's nothing magic there. You just have to be patient, know what you're doing. Go back to the videos. If you go back to the video in arithmetic, or some videos I did in arithmetic, or go back to the video I did in exponent if you don't understand what I'm doing here, because everything I'm doing here I already covered them. There's nothing I'm doing here that I haven't covered in the past. Okay, so let's go solve some problem. Okay, all right, let's do some examples. See the example there? You know, we're gonna do that with the long division. Okay, all right, so we say step 0. We know what step 0 is. You know, we'll eyeball the problem and we'll put it in this form here. We need to make sure we got enough space. We'll put it in this form. Yeah, let me, you know, use this line here. X squared minus x minus 6, right? We'll go like that, and we'll put the divisor here. The divisor is okay, nothing is missing there. Okay, so we'll say that that's step 0. So let's do step 1. Step 1. Okay, step 1, we will do this. X squared, you see the leading term of the dividend, you know, see there, and the leading term of the divisor, see right there. Leading term of the divisor is right there, it's x. You divide things out, what do you get? You know what? Let me give myself space. I don't want to, cluster things again. X squared over x. What do you get there? You get x, right? And then you say x. I want to give myself. So you got that. Let's give ourselves space, man. We'll say, what is that? X times x minus, because we got x3. We multiply that at what do we get? We get x squared minus 3x. You see that, right? X squared minus 3x. That's what we got. So we'll move it over here. X squared minus 3x. That's what we got. Okay, we'll write our x here. That's what we got here. And we'll subtract. We'll put our subtraction sign there. I want to do it this way. That way I have space. That way I can see what I'm doing. Because if I start doing stuff on, vertically, then I run out of space. So what do we do? Subtract. When you subtract, notice that x squared cancel x squared, because x squared on the bottom becomes negative, and then 3x becomes positive. So you have negative x plus 3x. Then that will give you, what would that give you? Will give you 2x. You see that, right? And then you bring this down. It becomes negative 6. You see it, right? So subtract, bring down, and then we're done with that step, okay? So we'll go to step 2. We'll repeat the process again. The process repeats again, okay? So we'll say, to repeat the process again, we'll say 2x over x. What is that? That is 2, okay? And then you say 2 times x minus 3. What is that? I'm doing it vertically because I know I'm almost done. That is 2x minus 6. You see it, right? And then you put it here. Subtract. Put it here, 2x minus 6. Okay, and then you subtract. Notice that the sign of this one will change, because this will, because we're doing subtraction, this will be negative, this will be positive. You see that, right? But I don't want to confuse you, so let me remove that in case somebody's not listening to what I'm saying. Maybe they just want to watch the video without listening to it, so we'll have to do it right. Let me remove that. Because this here takes care of it. Okay, so what was that I put up there? Negative. It's negative like that. So if you subtract, what do you get? You get 0. You see that, right? So you see that. So we're done. Answer. Oh, I forgot to put my 2 up there. You put the 2 here, plus 2. Yeah, put the 2. The answer. Our answer is x plus 2. And there is no remainder, right? So that's the answer right there, okay? So we'll move on to the next one. We're done with that one. We'll move on. This is the next one. We'll tackle this one. The way it's the same way, man. The same way. It's nothing new under the sun. The same way. You follow the steps and you knock it out. Okay. So let's follow the steps. This is step 0. Let's do step 0. Okay, step 0 will prepare things. Just nothing's wrong with the divisor. So we'll put the divisor x like that, plus 6. And we'll put the dividend there like that, to x plus 20. See that, right? And then step 0 is done. And then we'll go to step 1. What is step 1? We'll say x over x squared over x. What do you get? You get x, right? And then we'll set x that we got times x plus 6. What do we get? We'll get x squared plus 6x. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll put what we got. What is that? We got x. We'll put it here. And then we'll take that x squared plus 6x. We'll put it here. And then we'll subtract. See that? We'll subtract. What do we get? Because we're subtracting things, we'll cancel out. The first time there will cancel out. And then the second time will be negative 6 plus 2x. It will become negative 4x. You see that, right? Okay. And then we'll bring this down. Becomes plus 20. Okay? So we'll subtract. If you don't want to write that down, that's okay. Subtract, bring down. Subtract and bring down. We've done that. So we'll go to step 2, okay? You see that, man? I'm just trying to be systematic. That way you don't have any chance to mess up. So we'll repeat the process. The whole thing will repeat all over again. So we'll say negative 4x divided by x. What do you get? You get negative 4. You get negative 4. You put it here. Negative 4. Okay? And then you say, you can put that in a box like that. It's up to you, man. Then you say negative 4 times, what is that? X plus 6 is equals to, what is that? Negative 4x negative 12. You see that, right? So you put that, you take whatever you got there, you put negative 4x negative 12, and then you're subtracting. When you subtract, what happens? 4x on the bottom becomes positive, so that one cancels out, and then 12 turns into positive. So what you have there is positive 32. That's the remainder. I think I believe we made a mistake somewhere. Where did we make a mistake? That's a mistake. Just give me a minute. I'm sorry. You see, I caught my mistake. Mistake is right here. Minus 4 times x is minus 4x. Minus 4 times 6 is minus 24. Not minus 12. You see how I come, because I thought something wrong. You see right there. So let me see. Then we'll do it. When we do it, what do we get? Would be, that will be positive, because we will subtract. That will be positive 24. So that would be positive 44, right? Okay. So we're done. Our answer is, we got x minus 4, and the remainder is 44. Remainder is 44 over, what is that, x plus 6. You see how I write the remainder, but that thing is from there. You see it, right? You know, so that's how you write it. You know, we did a good job. We knocked it out. Let's move on. It's nothing to worry about. We'll move on to the next one. I'm glad I caught my mistake, you see. So let's move on to the next one. The next one is that one there. Alright, people, we'll have to pay attention. I don't know, sometimes I don't pay attention. I just make silly mistakes like I did there. I don't know if because I'm getting tired or something. Okay, so you see that there, that's what we're working with. We'll do step 0. Step 0 prepares things up. We need to do prepare stuff. We'll say, let's put it over here, 2x plus 1. There's nothing missing there. We'll say 8x cubed 10x squared x plus 3. Okay, so that's your step 0. And then step 1. Step 1 will say 8x cubed over 2x. You see that, right? What do you get from there? You get, I don't know why I keep taking too much space. Let's put it here. 8x3 over 2x. Let's release this, give more space. What do you get there? You get 4x squared, right? That's what you get there. And then you say 4x squared times 2x plus 1. So you gotta put 4x squared, put it here. Okay, you multiply that, what do you get? You get 4x squared. No, actually you get 8. 8. I'm going too fast. See, that's how I make mistakes. You get 8x cubed plus 4x squared. You see it, right? Okay, that's what you get from there. So you're gonna subtract it, put it here. 8x cubed plus 4x, like that. You subtract it. Okay, you subtract it. I want people to be able to read what I'm writing, man. I'm making a mess again. Just give me a minute, man. 8x 4x subtract. Okay. I'm sorry, right there, squared. Yeah, after a while, you know, I don't know if my pen is acting up. It's just me, man. I think it's me. Okay, so you subtract. Now notice that since you're subtracting, 8 at the bottom becomes the negative 8x cubed, and then it cancels the 1 on top. And then you have negative 4x squared there. So you add that to negative 10x squared, you get 14x squared. You see that, right? Actually, it's negative 14x squared, sorry. And then you bring this down. It becomes negative x. You see that, right? Okay, so we're done with that. We'll repeat the process. That's step 3. I'm sorry, step 2. We'll repeat the process again. That's negative 14x squared divided by 2x. You get negative 7x, right? You get that. And then you use that negative 7x. It should be directly opposite this one here. You know, so let me clean that up. What was that I got before? 4x squared. And then this guy come closer. I don't want to, misaligning stuff. It's going to be negative 7x, okay? All right. So once you do that, you multiply negative 7x times 2x plus 1. Okay, you get negative 14x squared, negative 7x. You see that, right? You put it there. Negative 14x squared and negative 7x. You see it, right? See what we're doing step by step. And then now you're going to subtract. Put it here. Put my sign there. Okay. the thing at the bottom becomes positive. So you have the first one crosses, the second one becomes plus 6x. You see it, right? And then you bring this down over here, becomes plus 3. Okay, so we got step. So you keep until you run out of step. We got step 3 on this one. Step 3. I'm sorry. Sometimes you do 2 steps, but if you need step 3, take it. If you need step 4, do it. Okay, so we repeat the process. What do we get? We'll get 6x divided by 2x. It becomes 3. Okay, and then we'll say 3 times 2x plus 1 is equals to 6x plus 6. Okay, you see it, right? We'll put it here, 6x plus 6, right? No, I'm messing up again, man. That's the where did I get 6 from? It's 6x plus 3. You see how I'm messing up, man? I don't know if I'm getting tired on this Christmas day. That's 3 right there. See? Right there. So I'm glad I looked back and caught that. And then you subtract again. Okay. I like to line my subtraction with that like that. Line it up like that. Let's put that here. Okay. So once you do that, you put plus 3 here. That's what we got. You subtract. You're going to subtract, everything cancels out, okay? Everything will cancel out till you get 0. So the answer we got is 4x squared minus 7x plus 3. There's no remainder. You see that, right? There's no remainder, man. Remainder is 0. See? You just be patient. Don't make mistake like I do. But most of the time I catch my mistake. But if I don't catch it, I end up with the wrong answer, man. Okay, so let's move on to the next one. We're gonna keep going, see how many we can get. I will get as many as I can, but like I told you in the past, I can still come back when I have the time, spare time, or when I'm done with it. I can still come back and solve more problems under this category. Okay, and then when I solve a problem, I post it. You will know, because you will see the video up there. Okay. All right. Let's deal with the next one. The next one is right there. Okay. So that one, we'll deal with it. It's nothing to be scared of. Whatever, how many steps he gives us, we'll take it. So. But anyway, let's do step 0. You prepare stuff, okay? Prepare stuff the way we're supposed to, with the standard form. The standard form is x minus 2 like that. That's the standard form right there. 3x raised to the power 3 minus 4x 2 minus 6x plus 10. See, that's how you write it there. All right, you see it, right? Okay, and the dividend is okay, so it doesn't have anything missing. So we say step 1, okay? All right, step 1 will say 3x cubed divided by x. You get 3x squared. You see that, right? And then we'll take that, put it over here, 3x squared. And we'll say 3x squared times x minus 2. So by now you see where we're getting stuff from. It's equals to 3x raised to the power 3 minus 3. What is that now? Not minus 3, minus. It's gotta be minus 6x squared. You see it, right? So you take whatever you got, you put it here. 3x cubed 6x2, and you subtract. Okay, you gotta subtract that. Okay, so subtract, bring stuff down. Okay, so we'll subtract first. We'll subtract that cancels out. The first one always cancels out. The second term there is becomes positive 6x. That then gives you 2. It gives you 2x squared, right? Right. It gives you that positive 2x squared, okay? And then you bring things down. Bring that one down. The next time you bring it down, negative 6x. And you repeat the process, okay? Step 2. You say 2x raised to the power 2 divided by x. What is that? That's a 2x. You see it, right? That's 2x. You put it here. Plus 2x, you put it there. Okay? And then you say 2x times x minus 2. You see it, right? That's equals to 2x squared minus 4x. You see it, right? That's what we got there. Yeah, 2x squared minus 4x. Okay, so you put it over here. 2x squared minus 4x. Okay, and then you subtract and you bring something down. What do you subtract right here? The first one always cancels out. And the second one, if negative 4x becomes positive 4x, so you got negative 2x, okay? Alright, you bring that down. Positive 10, okay? Alright, you repeat this process. So you keep repeating the process until you run out of stuff to bring down. So that's step 3. Okay, so you do negative 2x divide by, what is that? Divide by x. What do you get? You get negative 2. You see that, right? And then you say negative 2 times x minus, is that x minus 2? Let me see. X minus 2, yes. You get negative 2x plus 4. You put it here. Negative 2x plus 4. Okay? And you subtract. You subtract that thing, what do you get? You subtract it, you're gonna get, the first one will cancel because one of them will be positive, and then there's negative 4 add to positive 10. So you get positive 6. There's nothing else to bring down, so we're done. You see it there, right? Nothing else to bring down. So we say our answer is let me see. Oh, I didn't put the remaining part of my answer. You gotta put it here, plus. Is that plus or negative? No, it's negative 2. You gotta put it here. Negative 2. Right? See, I got it from here. Okay. So the answer is 3x squared plus 2x negative 2 plus a remainder. Remainder is 6 over x minus 2. You see it, right? That's the answer right there, man. And I don't know we did it right. Did everything systematically and we'll have the correct remainder. And then we'll move on. We'll move on to the next one, okay? Okay, we'll move on to the next one right here. All right. The next one, we'll have to tackle that the way we've been tackling things. You just attack it, man. It's nothing to be scared of this thing. You just do what you gotta do. Alright, so what is our step 0? We eyeball stuff. We don't see anything missing. So we'll write it like this. X plus 1 like that. Okay. 2x squared plus 9x plus 7. Okay. You see that, right? So we're done with step 0. We go to step 1. Step 1, you know what is divisor, you know what is dividend, right? And you know what is the leading time in the dividend and the leading time in the divisor. That's what we're using. Those two leading times are useful. So we'll do step 1, 2x leading time in the dividend, okay? And then divide it with leading time in the divisor, which is x. You do that, what do you get? You get 2x. You see it, right? That's why it's good to do what we did. We did a lot of stuff earlier that should help you get this done right. You know, so once we get that, we'll write it down here, 2x, and we'll say 2x times the dividend. The dividend is 2x squared plus 2x. You see that, right? Okay, so we'll write that down, 2x squared plus 2x, and we'll subtract that. You know, you see how I'm doing it? Just be patient. If you're tired, take a break, continue doing it. If you subtract, notice that the first one always drops off, and then the second one you got negative. When you subtract it, you get negative 2x, and then it will becomes, you subtract, you get 7x. You see that? You get positive 7x, and then you bring this down to complete your first step. You bring 7 down, subtract, bring down, okay? You bring it down, then you're done. You repeat the process again, step 2. You will repeat the process. We'll say 7x over x is equals to 7. You see that, right? And then we'll say 7 times the divisor is equals to 7x plus 7. You see that, right? Okay. So we'll put a 7x plus 7, and we'll subtract. You subtract, what do you get? Of course, everything will cancel out. You get 0. Do you see that? It's nothing to be scared of. So answer, did I put the answer? I didn't put the last one. That's plus 7. Okay, answer we're looking for is 2x plus 7. Remainder is 0. Okay, remainder is 0, so we don't need to put it there. It's no remainder. Okay, so we'll move on. Moving on, man. We'll move on. We'll move on, man. We always gotta move on from somewhere, you know. It's always an opportunity to move on. You see, they give you opportunity to move on, you move on. Okay, we'll do that. This is the one we're gonna do. We'll do that one there. Okay, so what is our step 0? Everything clears up. So we just, I don't see any problem anywhere. We just set up our stuff. X plus 8. Okay, x squared 11x plus 16. Okay. See, the more you do it, the more you get hang of it. So you need to do a lot of problems. That way you can get hang of it. Okay, so let's go to step 1. Step 1 is x squared divided by x. you get x. And then you say x, that x you got x times x plus 8. What do you get? You get x squared plus 8x. You see that, right? So you put it there. Whatever you got, you put it here. X squared plus 8x. Okay. Checking if I messed up. I didn't mess up. You subtract. The first one always cancels out. The 8 becomes negative because we're subtracting. And then you have 3x. You see that, right? You bring this down. Bring that down, it becomes plus 16. So whatever you bring in now, you bring in that from the sign in front of it, okay? And then you repeat the process. So we'll subtract it and we'll brush stuff down, bring down, okay? Okay, so we'll go to step 1. I'm sorry, step 2, not step. We already did step 1. Step 2, we'll repeat the process. 3x over x is equals to 3. You see that, right? Plus 3. Okay. And then we set 3 times x plus 8. You see where everything is coming from. X plus 8 is the divisor. I call it the divider. It's 3x plus 24. See it, right? So you put it here, 3x plus 24. You see that, right? You subtract, the first one always cancels out. You got negative 24, you're adding it to 16. You see what happened? So you're gonna get negative number. It's gonna be negative 8. You see it, right? There's nothing else to bring down, so we're done. Our answer we're looking for is x plus 3. Remainder is negative 8 over x plus 8. Right? You see that, right? That's what we'll be looking for, okay? Alright, so we'll keep going. It's nothing to be scared. We'll knock it out and go. Alright? We did it right. Alright, here is our next example. Let's knock it out. Let's knock this out. Alright. You see what that says right there? So we'll have our steps, right? Well, let's do step 0. Step 0 is, prepare the way. You prepare the way for this thing to happen. So you eyeball stuff. I don't see anything missing. So you said right there that this is x squared minus 2x minus 24, right? It's like that. You do it like that, just like that. You do it like that, and you put this here, and then step 0 is completed. Then you do step 1. Okay, step 1 is step 1 got many stages, right? You say x raised to the power 2 divided by x. You know where the x come from. You know where the x squared come from. These are the leading terms of the two things with the divisor and the dividend. Alright, so you knock that out, you get x. Okay, so you put the x here. You see what we're doing, right? And then you take that x you got, you box it in there like that, and you get another box. You say x times x minus 6. That becomes x squared minus 6x. Okay, so you got stuff, you put it here, x squared minus 6x. Okay, now you're gonna subtract that, subtract it. If you subtract it, what do you get? Notice that the first term cancels out, the second term becomes positive, so then you have 4x. See that, right? If you don't understand what I'm doing, leave a comment. I will come and answer you, okay? And then you bring this down, negative 24. Once you bring that down, you're done with the first step. You subtract something, you bring something down, bring it down, okay? Bring it down, okay? And then you're done. You move on to the next step, step 2. Okay, what is step 2? We repeat the process again. It's 4x divided by x. What do you get? You get 4. Okay, so positive 4, you put it here. And then you say 4 times x minus 6. What is that? Is 4x minus 20. What is that? That's 24, okay? Alright? And then you put it here, you say 4x minus 24, okay? And now since you're adding, everything will cancel out, you get 0. Since you're subtracting things, right? You get 0 there, and then you're done with that one. Since you're done, what is your answer? You read off your answer where you put them on top there. The answer is x plus 4. There's no remainder, right? There is no remainder, so we'll move on. So no need to waste time. We'll move on to the next one. The next one is there. So just pay attention to what we're doing. This stuff is not difficult. You just have to be disciplined, persistent, and then you'll be okay. Alright, so you do step 0. Step 0 is prepare the way. So you prepare the way, everything looks good, then you put it there, 2x plus 1, like that. It's 12x squared plus 20x plus 7. What am I doing? I'm putting it on top. You can't put it on top. I'm listening to the motorcycle. There's somebody driving motorcycle like he wants to break it, man. 12x squared plus 20x. I think there's a guy that live around here. He always making all that noise, man. But anyway, so let's do step 1. Okay. So you see what we're doing, right? You gotta do slowly, carefully. That way you don't leave anything, you don't make any mistake, okay? Alright, step 1 is we need these and that. Those are the 2 leading terms. We need them. Those are the stuff we're gonna work with. So we say 12x squared divided by the leading term of the divisor, which is 2x. You do that, you get 6x. So you put 6x here. Alright. Then you say, you got that right there. You say 6x times 2x plus 1. You get 12x squared plus 6x. You see it, right? You put it here. 12x squared plus 6x. And then you're going to subtract. Put the subtraction sign in here. So you subtract and you bring down. Okay? So let's subtract first. The first one cancels. That thing there is negative 6 because we're doing subtraction. So it becomes 14, right? Yeah, it becomes 14x. Okay, and then you bring something down, bring that thing down, it becomes positive 7. You see that, right? And we'll repeat the process again, step 2. This is a modular process. You repeat it, you get 14x divided by 2x. What do you get? You get 7x, okay? No, sorry. You're not getting 7x from out of that thing. You're gonna get a 7, not 7x, okay? And then you take 7 to multiply the divisor. You get 14x plus 7. You see that? 14x plus 7. You subtract. That's 0, man. So basically, don't forget to put this here, 7. Okay, so the answer we got is 6x. There is no remainder. Okay, you see, there is no remainder. So that's what we got there, no remainder, man. Okay, here is the next problem we'll have there for you. It's step 0. Remember our step 0, we'll prepare the way. We'll have 3x minus 2. Nothing is extraordinary there. Everything looks good. 9x squared plus 6x plus 10. Okay. You see that, right? Alright. So then we'll go to step 1. Step 1. We'll have 9x squared divided by 3x. What do we got? We got 3x. Okay, so that's what we got right there. And then we'll take 3x. We'll put it here, 3x. We'll multiply 3x negative 2. We'll get 9x squared negative 6x. Okay, so we'll put it here, 9x squared negative 6x. Okay, see, we're going from one place to another. Whatever we do here goes to the right. Whatever we do on the left transfers to the right side, okay? And then we'll subtract. So let me make sure I didn't make any mistake. That's 9x squared negative 6x, yes? Okay, so now we'll subtract. What do we get? Yeah, we'll subtract that then. What do we get? We get, first one cancels out. Negative 6 becomes positive 6. Oh, I'll be done. Let me positive 6. Okay, then it becomes 12. I thought it cancels out. It becomes 12x, okay? We'll bring this down. It becomes plus 10. Okay, so we'll subtract it. We'll brought it down. Okay, and then we'll do the other step, step 2. Alright, step 2, we'll repeat the thing. 12x divided by 3x. What do you get? You get 4. So you put it here, that's plus 4. Right? And you take 4, you multiply 4 times that thing, 4 times the divisor. What do you get? You get 12x minus 8. You see that, right? 12x minus 8. You put it here, 12x minus 8. Okay, so you subtract. The first one becomes 0. The first term becomes 0. The second term becomes plus 10 plus 8. That will be plus 18. Okay, so we don't have nothing to bring down. So we'll say the answer is our answer is 3x plus 4, and the remainder plus remainder, 18 in well, you don't have to put that arrow there because it doesn't make sense to put it there. It's 18 over 3x minus 2. You see it, right? Alright, that's what we did there. We did a good job. We put ourselves in the back. So we'll move on to the next one. We'll find another one to do. We'll move on to this one here. Okay. So we'll move on to that. So it's nothing new there. We've done something like that before. We just have to eyeball it, see if there is something that is left out. I think everything is okay. So we'll just go ahead and do our step number 0. Okay, step 0, okay? Step 0 is, let's give us enough space. We'll put it 4x plus 3. Draw down 12x 3 negative 11x squared plus 9x plus 18. Okay, and then we'll start with step 1. Okay, where is step 1? We'll say 12x cubed over 4x. What do you get from there? You get 3x squared. Okay, that's what you get there. You take that 3x squared. Let me see, 3x squared. You take that, you multiply 4x plus 3. See that, right? What do you get from that multiplication? You get 12x raised to the power 3 plus 9x raised to the power 2. So you take that and put it over there. 12x raised to the power 3 plus 9x raised to the power 2, and you subtract. Okay, I want to make sure I didn't mess up somewhere. 12x raised to the power 3, 9x raised to the power 2. Yes, you subtract that. Normally the first one cancels out. The second one, you have negative 9x squared. So you got negative, let me see, that's 20, right? 20x squared. Okay, and then you bring this down, plus 9x. Okay, so then you go to step 2. Okay, step 2, you repeat the process. Negative 20x squared divided by 4x. What do you get? You get negative 5. Let me see. Yeah, negative 5x. Yeah, negative 5x. You don't need the square. So all right, and then you do that's, what did I do? Sorry, that's 4x. Okay, that's put that negative 5x here, and then it's a negative 5x times 4x plus 3. Okay, and you get, what do you get? You get negative 20x squared negative 15x. You put it there, 20x squared negative 15x. You see that, right? And then you subtract. You subtract that, what do you get there? The first one disappears, the second one becomes positive 15. So then you have 14, no, not 14, 24, sorry. You have 24x. Okay, 24x, you bring this down. You bring plus 18 down. So you do step. You see, so you keep going until you exhaust the whole steps. If you go to step 20, that's okay. Okay, you repeat the process, you get 24x, right? 24x, let me see. 24x, right? Oh man, yeah. 24x divided, what is that then? Divided by 4x. Is that 4x? Yeah. Divided by 4x, what do you get? You get 6. You get 6, okay? So you put it here plus 6. That's what you get there, plus 6. And then you say 6 times, what is that then? 4x plus 3. 4x plus 3. You multiply that out, what do you get? Well, let's do it over here. I don't want to have this stuff all clustered. We'll do it over here. What do you get? You get 24x plus 18. You see that, right? So 24x plus 18. Yeah, plus 18. So that's 24x plus 18. And then you subtract. When you subtract, what happened? You subtract that thing. What happened is my chair is moving, it's going down. I don't know why. I tried to make it go up. You subtract that, what do you get? You see, everything negates, and then it becomes 0. You see that, right? Everything negates the other one. So after you do that, then you say, we wrote everything up there. You say your answer after you do the division is 3x raised to power 2 minus 5x plus 6. That's what I got. And I think we did it right. Okay? So let's move on, man. Let's move on and do the next one. What is the next one? The next one is that one. I thought I have one that is incomplete. That way we can use that trick. I want to be able to apply that trick, you see. Okay, maybe we'll get to it. Alright, let's see. Okay, let's do step 0, okay? You repackage stuff in step 0. Repackage it for processing. So you do x plus 2 like that. Sorry, I don't know where I get that from. No, that's not there. Okay, like that. And then you put 5x like that minus x squared plus 10x plus 2 like that. You see it, right? So I got it right. That's how you're supposed to do it. Alright, and then we're done with step 0. Let's do step 1. Okay, step 1, what is that? You know the two leading terms. That one of them is 5x of the rest of our 3. The other one is x plus x. So you take care of that. You got 5x squared. Okay. Alright. Yeah, we gotta be careful because this one may be long. I don't want to take up too much space. Alright, so you put that here. 5x squared. So you do that. 5x squared times x plus 2. You get 5x cubed plus 5, not 5, it's 10x squared. So you put it here, 5x cubed plus 10x squared, okay? And you subtract. If you subtract that, what do you get? The first time usually cancels out. The 10 on the bottom becomes negative 10x raised to power 2. So everything will become negative 11x raised to power 2. You bring that down, become plus 10x. So we repeat the process, okay? Step 2. We repeat the process. It's negative 11x raised to power 2 times x. Divide by x, you get negative 11x. You see it, right? Negative 11x. You know what? I don't want to take up all the space. Let's do it here. Negative 11x times x plus 2. Let's leave this out. What do you get? You get negative 11x squared, negative 22. See that, right? So you put that there. Negative 20. I'm sorry, I'm jumping the gun. You go negative 11x squared, negative 22. I'm sorry, it's 22x, sorry. Say, what the hell? Yeah, x cannot be missing. Let me check it again. 11x, and let me actually put my, I didn't put my 11x, negative 11x here. So you multiply that, that would be negative 11x squared, negative 22x. Okay. So you subtract this then. Everything on the bottom becomes positive. So the first one crosses out. The second one becomes 32x, right? And you bring down 2 right here, plus 2. Okay? And the process repeats. That's step 3. Alright, 32x divided by x, you get 32. Okay, 32 times, what is that, x plus 2, you get 32x plus 64. Okay, let's put that up here. We get 32 plus 32. Alright. And then we'll say 32x plus 64, okay? And we'll subtract that then. What do you get after? The first one usually cancels out. Then you get negative 64. It becomes negative 62. That's what is remaining. Okay, you see how we'll knock that thing out. So the answer will be answer will be 5x squared minus 11x plus 32 plus remainder, which is well, let's not do it like that. We do it negative 62 over x plus 2. That's how you should write that. You can say plus negative 62 over, so it doesn't really matter. If you want to write it like that, it's the same thing. It doesn't matter how you write it, man. you can say plus negative 62. That's a remainder. This is a remainder right here. Okay, if you want to write it like that. Okay, here is this one. Yeah, I think this is the one I know that you'll see. Step 0, prepare the way. Okay, so you have, now notice, when you look at this, notice that something is missing. So we'll write it as x, 2x squared plus 0x, let me see, 0x minus 3. You see that, right? We changed nothing, man. We changed nothing, right? Yeah, we changed nothing. X is missing, so we'll put it on there, to hold the space for us. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but it helps to do it. That way you can have complete accounting of what is going on, okay? And then you haven't finished preparing, you say 2x raised to power 2 plus x0 minus 3, okay? Oh man, and what did I do? Hang on a minute, I gotta move that in. I gotta move it down. I don't want to mess up like that. So you say, you gotta write it like that. And then you put that thing in there. 2x squared plus 0x plus, it's not plus, it's minus 3. Okay, and then you have 6x raised to the power 4 minus 10x raised to the power 3 minus x raised to the power 2 plus 15 raised to the power x. Oh Lord, negative 8. So this one will be, I think it will be very long. I don't know. Let's see what happens. Okay, but that's how you prepare. Then you say step 1, okay? After preparation, then you go to step 1. And now we know what we're doing. We'll say 6x raised to the power 4 divided by 2x raised to the power 2, right? We'll knock that out. We'll get 3x raised to the power 2. You see that, right? So we'll put it here. 3x raised to the power 2. So it goes over there. I want to make sure I don't mix things up. Alright, so we'll put it there, then we'll use it to multiply things out. We'll multiply things out, we'll set 3x times 2x plus 0x minus 3. What do you get there? You get 6x raised to the power 4 and then plus 0x. And then actually, let's put the thing, you put it 3, because if you multiply that with 3, it does nothing. It just empty stuff, because it's 0 times x raised to the power 3 is nothing. So negative, what is that, 9x raised to the power 2. So that's what we got. We'll put it over here, x power 4 plus 0x raised to the power 2. You see why we'll have to make sure we do it right? 9x raised to the power 2, because it matches. It matches with the power. Negative, we'll subtract, okay? It matches with the power up there. So you subtract it. The first one cancels out. The second one becomes negative 10x 3. That thing is just a placeholder, that's all. It doesn't do anything. It just helps you to keep accounting right. Okay, so negative 9x raised to the power 2 would become positive. So you have positive 8x raised to the power 2. Okay, so you bring this down, plus 15x, and you repeat the process, okay? You repeat the process, you have negative 10x raised to the power 3 divided by 2x raised to the power 2, you get negative negative 5x, right? You see it, right? You put it there, negative 5x. You put it there. So you take negative 5x. I hope I'm not making a mistake. Let me check, make sure everything is done right. You divide that up right there. Yeah. And then you take the, let's take that and do the magic. Negative 5x times 2x squared plus 0x minus 3. What do you get? You get negative 10x cubed negative 0x squared. Let's see, and then you get positive 15x. You see that, right? So you put it here, negative 10x cubed and negative x. See, that thing is a space holder, man. It doesn't do nothing. It's worthless, man. But it helps us keep our position over there. That way we don't get confused. 15x, okay? And then so we're subtracting. If we subtract all that, the things down there, the thing at the bottom, because they all switch sign. So the first one cancel out. The second one, it has no effect, so we'll write 8x raised to the power 2. The third one becomes negative, so it's 0. You see that, right? So if it's 0, we'll bring down this. We'll bring down thunder right there, negative 8. Yeah. You see that? Let me, hang on, I don't want to confuse you. Let's put it over here. Let's put negative 8 here, negative 8. We'll put it like that, but we'll have something. Let me see this one. Let's put a space holder there. We'll put plus 0x. We'll put it there. So basically, let me write it. I don't know what I'm doing, man. Let me write it right. That way you can see it. Clear that up. So we'll bring down 8 down here. It will be negative 8. See? That's what we're supposed to write it clean like that. And then we'll repeat the process step. What is that step? Yeah, this is step 2, man. Step 2. I forgot to write that step 3. We'll do step 3. Okay. If you don't have to write step 1, step 2. You know, as long as you can keep track of what you're doing. We'll repeat the process. 8x squared divided by 2x squared. What do you get? You get everything cancel out. You get 4. It's just 4. You see that, right? Okay, we'll put the 4 here. And then we say 4 times 2x. I don't even know why I had to do, but it's okay. 4 times 2x squared plus. We'll see. 3. Multiply that out. What do you get? You get 8x squared plus 0x plus negative 12. And you put that here. 8x squared plus 0x. See that? I think it's good I put that there. Negative 12. And then you subtract. Notice that the first term always cancels out. And then that 12 becomes positive. So that means you have positive 4. You see that? And we're done. There's nothing else to bring down. So that means answer is 3x squared minus 5x plus 4, and the remainder is 4. So we'll say, you can say plus 4 over 2x squared minus 3. That's how you write the remainder. You see that, right? I think we did it right, man. I think we did it right. Yes, we did it right. We did it okay. Please subscribe to my channel, like and share this video. If you have any comment, leave it down there. I will get to it. I think I'm gonna leave it here. We're gonna go to something else. Like I said, this is not the end of something like this. I may come back in the future, solve more problems, and then I put it in the slot where it belongs, and then the video will show up. You will see it. So, but for now, I think I'm gonna go maybe to quadratic equation. That's the next thing I need to look into. We need to do right away when we finish here. Any quadratic stuff is polynomial in 2 degrees. That's all. So let me think. I gotta look at the books and see where we're going. All right. Okay. Thanks for coming. I'll see you in the next video.